I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games.
Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は、
Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Morfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Benedese. Her beautiful day. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squab, and that also means elephant. Okay.
Ça, ça, ah c'est ça, que c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyper Polyglotting avec Élise. Moi c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique et de l'acquisition des langues.
10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Nei. Nei. Man. Yen. Yo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bangba, okay, Bangbas is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon.
Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Facile. Sì, ecco, la gente... è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo, io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io.
I buy a computer or what? And here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or. But sounds vaguely like Hogun and the hok in Hogun in Korean or waku in Japanese, and that appears it is the exact same kind of character.
Okay, let me see.
Un chasseur, ça son chassé. Ses chassés sont son chien de chasse.
Der dicke Dach.
Okay, der dicke Dachdecker deckt dir dein Dach, drum dank dem dicken Dachdecker, dass der dicke Dachdecker dir dein Dach deckt. Hola y bienvenidos al directo de Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. Yo soy Elisa, traductora, escritora y editora y comunicadora social con más de 20 idiomas de trabajo. Y aquí vamos a estar jugando videojuegos, sobre todo GeoGuessr, y hablando de idiomas, la mejor forma de aprenderlo y caleta más. Zwei Zwetschgenzweigen zwitscherten zwei tschechische Schwalben. Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en un trigal en tres tristes trastos.
Oh, I see. This is Diche Ishai Fui, which means do you want food? But yeah, are you hungry? That kind of thing. How are the boys? Cine da boy. Posso Milao. Pote. Buenese. Proteine. Utros. Protopulo. In the designated chicken eating area, obviously.
Okay, still 3 times I have to defeat him. And I don't have a whole lot of health left.
Liv.
Monsieur.
See.
Livre. Liwe, livla.
Paks.
Mustan kissan paksut posket.
Macieje.
Yeah.
Ja. Si. Wysoki. Macieje. Proč? Inte. Počkej. A. Si. Track 6.
Aspri Petra xes aspri aptonilio xex asproteri. Aspri Petra xes aspri apton ilio xes asproteri.
En coginio panas.
Oh boy.
Ad ferad verda ferra ferda vetri.
Jacob. Hefed.
Okay.
Hefed.
Okay.
Hefed. Hefed. Hek. 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 Саша
Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку. Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку.
Mwalimu.
This survey. And it's from Mu'allim.
Juma ni mwalimu mke.
Ирак чимав чипах чемп чавю ченчи чини. Чирак чимав чипа да чирак чимав чипцах чемп чавю ченчи чини. Акакит алшит. Хикрин. Акакит алши хикрин. Акакит алши хикринс.
Oh, things to do with cat signs. Meow and the pictures of the fish. That's they were wow.
Sööper. Kupu. Yrittävä.
Hello and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I'm Elise, translator, writer, and editor with 20 working languages, and this is a stream where we're going to play some Blitz. We're going to also look at videos, cooking videos as a language learning tool, something we were looking at a little bit last week with pizza making videos in Arabic. We're going to look at a few others and a few other languages and stuff. And this is also the stream where I'm also raising funds for the Inessa Armand translation project, a translation project that I've been working on for some months now. Inessa Armand was the first head of the women's section of the Bolsheviks in the very early years of the Russian Revolution. Her works were suppressed under Stalin and never got translated into English until now. I've been translating them for a few months, and now there are 34 of her essays I have draft translations available of. There are still a couple more essays and a whole bunch of her letters to get through. I'm trying to raise $8,500 to cover the cost of translating and editing all of that. And so far, I've raised like $3,854. Let me just make absolutely sure that number is entirely current. Yeah, that's right. And if you'd like to contribute to the project, you can either do a one-off donation via my PayPal, or you can become a supporter over on my Patreon page, which is also where you can read the draft translations. All support, including signal boosting of the project, is much, much appreciated. Ah, damn it. What just happened here? That's mildly annoying. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be playing some Blitz. So I get my windows in the order I need them in. So, let's get stuck in. Actually, it's going to be a pain in the ass if I don't have the mouse on my lap. Okay, let's get started. Ben from Belgium. Starting with the Sicilian here. Trade those knights. Okay, that's a very annoying pawn we've got here. Actually, a very annoying position for the queen, too. Let's see if we can do something about that. I think if I go here, check, trade queens. So much for that option. Okay, we'll just try to chase that queen away then. Ah, 420. Neat. Okay. Force a queen trade. And develop. Okay, we're not looking great. There's a reason I'm playing unrated. Basically down a piece. But I've got this nice open file for my rook, so that's something anyway. Let's fix that pawn so it doesn't go anywhere that I would find annoying. Ah, that isn't great. Now I have to commit my rook to the defense of that pawn. That is an irritating weakness, and one that my opponent is taking immediate advantage of. Okay, let's create some luft for my king. Ah, my bishop's hanging. Let's hope Ben does not notice that my bishop is hanging. Ben does not notice that my bishop is hanging. It's very nice of him. Can only approve of not noticing that. Hello, River Rune. How you doing? There. Actually, now I'm not looking terrible. I mean, not looking good either, to be sure, but not terrible either. Okay. Can... Oh, he seems to be aware of that. That was not a great move on my part. Well, it's time to take the king for a little walk. Yeah, this is a suck position for me. This is definitely not great. This bishop can't go anywhere. Oh yeah, if I attack this bishop. Thank you. That's mate. It isn't mate? Oh shit, no, it isn't mate. He moved his pawn. So now I just sacked a bishop for no good reason. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Had that happen just recently with our parrot. There's an annoying discovery there if I didn't move. Wait, I won on time? After all that? GG? Yeah, let's see, let's check the analysis. I know I played shithouse. Oh, no, actually, 84.6, that's not terrible. Played 91.6. He just played really, really well. No blunders either. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all, actually. Can't believe I just won on time after all that. Okay, we're playing white this time against... Don't see the name. Oh, somebody seems to know the theory, because that is the most annoying way to play against the English. 1681. Of course he knows the theory. Of course they know the theory. Oh, my week wasn't too bad. Finished a major translation project I'd been working on, a book on Marxist philosophy and Spinoza. Well, there's still stuff to do, but the actual translation phase of it is over, which is nice. I think I've led whoever this is into a variation that they may not be familiar with. I, on the other hand, am very familiar with it. Still got to develop my dark squared bishop, though. Okay. So what do I want to do here? I think I'm going to push a pawn, create two options developmentally for my bishop. Oh, if he takes now, then the knight hangs. Oh, okay. Let's see if he knows this problem. Yes, he does. Watching the time. Okay, that's not bad. We can just push over here. His pawn is actually blocking the queen for now. I should move my king, get it into a safer spot, because there is a discovery here. Yeah. Better home for my king. And get those bishops a little bit better defended. Now what? Okay. We'll take up some more space on the queen side. Still a little bit ahead on time. I have the bishop pair, which is good. Username 964722925 is apparently the name of this player. Okay, so now I have a very annoying little open file for my rook. That's nice. Oh, it's my... Oh, I'm up. Okay. Neat. Trade queens. Under the circumstances, I don't think it can hurt. That knight is kind of nowhere. Like, the only square this knight really has is here on c8. Oh, now the knight's truly blocked. Am I possibly in a winning position here? I mean, that knight is kind of... I mean, even now the knight is a little bit stuck. Bringing the king into the game. Opening up a nice long diagonal for my bishop. I actually have a way to win a rook here. Also, I'm running a bit short on time. He sees it too. All right. Ah, shit. GG. I thought I had something there. I was not watching the clock as much as I really should have. Let's see, how did I do there? Oh shit, I was winning. I was totally winning. Other than the time thing. I had, wait, 10 missed wins? Against a 1,681 related player? Okay, I want to see this. Okay, that's a book move, I know that. Ja, das kenne ich auch. Okay, it's saying I ought to have played rook b1 here. Yeah, maybe. Although I was hoping to get myself, I was hoping that username whatever was going to take with the knight here, and then I have a fork, but he saw through that. Okay, so I should have taken the knight there, it's saying. Okay. Now, and now I'm winning again. Now I'm really winning. Or at the very least I have a better position. They really need to work on this translation. Das ignoriert eine Gelegenheit, eine Bauernkette angreift. That ignores an opportunity to attacks a pawn chain. Like, okay, chess.com, hit me up. I can translate this way better. It is what I do. That ain't it. Das ignoriert eine Gelegenheit, eine Bauernkette angreift? Like, who did that? I mean, no German native speaker would do that unless they just weren't paying attention. Okay. What does it say I should have done? Oh, I still should have taken that pawn. I kept considering that, but it seemed like it might actually be worse. But apparently it was better. Okay. Yeah, I thought that this might be a mistake, but I can see why he was doing it. I mean, he's trying to find some place to get this knight out of the way, and the only square available for the knight was literally that one on c8. Yeah, I was kind of expecting him to take back with the rook there. That definitely would have been better, and it would have made me very nervous. But he didn't. Threatening to win a rook, as I thought I was. Yeah, because if you go bishop c6 here, the king has to move out of the way. There's only one spot for the king to move, and that's right here. And then I've got a rook. Actually, potentially also at that point, I would also have potentially a knight, depending on where the king moves. Okay, next. Oh, so you go here with the rook. Okay, I thought that was a good move. Nice to know that the computer agrees. Won that bishop. Now I only have 25 seconds left. "18 seconds. Oh, and And there I lost on time, but I was at 5.2 on the evaluation bar. So I was totally winning there. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Lost on time, but I was definitely winning otherwise. Big Jim Bob Barker. Playing a Sicilian. Oh no, that isn't free. Always not a bad idea to have your rook on the same file as the queen. Okay. Find a more active place to stick that. Now what do we want to do? Queen doesn't have all that many places to go. What was that? Queen E2. Yeah, not a bad place to go. Oh, defending the pawn, is it? Okay. Defend the pawn. Feel free. Okay, I need to be watching the clock a little bit more now. Now, I don't really have a great place for my knight. That is a bit concerning.
Hello, Hex and Definitive. What is Beaver Moon? Sounds like an anime. Well, that clears it up. Oh wow, I am very short on time. Mm-hmm. Oh, a supermoon. Neat. Yeah, feel free to take as much time as you like. Big Jim Bob Barker. Very much a fan of you taking lots and lots of time. Yeah. Sorry to hear about that about your child. That's a pain in the ass. Okay, yeah, I got my ass kicked in that one. Let's just see. What does the engine have to say about this one? I feel like I did reasonably well for a while anyway. Huh, 69.9. Nice. Okay, not terrible. Yeah, okay, I kind of thought I was screwing up in the opening. Don't really know. What does it say I ought to do in that situation? Yeah, well, definitely not that. Oh, it says I should reroute, I should re-maneuver my knight. Was I ever winning in this? That wasn't a great move. Oh, that's annoying. Nothing to apologize for. That's chat's fault. That's the fault of the software. Okay.
Oh no, that sucked. No, I'm playing a guy called Big Jim Bob Barker. He's large and barks Jim Bobs, and kicked my ass. This isn't a Baja. This is I'm playing some just legit Blitz here. Okay. Ja. Well, ja, das ist tatsächlich eine verpasste Gelegenheit. Aber nachgeholt hat er die. Yeah. I understand about that. Yeah. And that was my ass getting kicked. Okay. Have another one. Okay, come on. Okay. Wobo Changbao is from, what is that, Taiwan? No, Sonderverwaltungszone Hong Kong. Okay. Oh, so not Hobo Changbao. Oh, we get a chance to learn from our mistake here. Hobo Changbao. Or, well, it's hard to know what the tones would be without actually having the characters. But not hobo, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, I saw that one coming. That is definitely a move here, and I am slightly ahead on time for now. Wouldn't mind keeping it that way. Hasn't castled yet. Don't know if that's necessarily a great idea. has to move. And the only places he can move where I'm not going to be able to immediately take him are here and here, at which point I can attack the rook. Oh. Okay. Okay, what can I do here? I guess... this bishop is not really in a great place at the moment. What can I do about that? Can win a pawn here. Now that knight is defended, even though it is still pinned. Now he can take that knight. And he did. I'm still attacking the queen. Now I'm not. There's a fork here. I'm really taking my king on a magical mystery tour here. Bollocks. GG. Okay, and with that, I am going to take a little bit of a bio break. I will be back in just a few minutes. Back in just a few. At which time we will start looking at some cooking videos in various languages and talk about how they can be used to learn for language learning. I've got a whole selection this time. Check that out. There's a good chance that whatever language you might be interested in learning, chat, is already in there. Where are that? There we go.
Hi, and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games.
Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
E l'ospitale
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は、
Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Morfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Benedese. Her Gud okulla dig. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squab, and that also means elephant.
ça, ça, ah c'est ça, che c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyperpolyglotting avec Élise. Moi, c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu déjà. Surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues.
10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Night. Night. Fun. Yen. Yo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bambas. Bamba, okay, Bambas is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon.
Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Facile. Sì, ecco, la gente... è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo. Io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io.
I buy a computer or quack Here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or, sounds vaguely like Hogun and the hop in Hogun in Korean or Waku in Japanese.
Okay, and I'm back. And as I said, we're going to look at some more language learning through cooking material. I have a bunch of options language-wise. So let me read out the options. And if chat has any preference, we will go with that. So we've got Farsi, Hindi, Spanish, Arabic. If you remember the guy last week who had the satin shirt on that I was really worried about because he was making pizza and I didn't see how he could possibly do that without getting something on it with no apron or anything? We got him. We got another Arabic creator. We got Spanish. One of my favorite Chilean cookery creators, a guy by the name of Álvaro Barrientos Montero. We've got Italian. Got a couple of Italian ones. So any particular preference as to language, chat? Now, the key with any kind of comprehensible input, especially there are a couple of things that are really important. I mean, production values matter a lot. You need good audio, especially. You want to be able to continue listening to it. You want good production values in the sense of actually showing you the stuff that it's explaining. Yeah, because you want to be able to see it as you're hearing about it, because then your brain can start making the connections. Another thing that is important is, especially if you're starting out in a language, it ought to be something that you know a thing or two about already. Because if you have absolutely no idea what you're looking at, then you will have very little chance of making sense out of what you're hearing. There are tons of videos in all sorts of languages about how to, say, build a PC. But if you can't tell by looking the difference between a CPU and a RAM stick or something like that, the utility is going to be very limited, both for actually learning how to do the thing and for learning the language. So you want it to be something you know some things about, and it ought to be it ought to be enjoyable. That is actually really important. If you I think everybody's probably had one or two teachers in school at some point or uni where they're like, oh, it's not my job to make this stuff interesting or relevant to you, and it's your job to just sort of fight through the boredom or whatever. And that's not great in general, but for language learning, for language acquisition, you really, really want to have some sort of inherent interest in the thing you're looking at. Because if you don't, you're going to run into trouble. You have to actually be concentrating on it because you inherently want to concentrate on it. Yeah, exactly. I would not consider those to be great teachers. Because, if you've got that sort of teacher, especially if you're, because all that happens in those classes is you, struggle through the class, you struggle through the exam, maybe you pass, maybe you, barely pass, and you just feel a sense of relief that you no longer have to deal with this shit ever again, and you are completely immune to ever caring about it. So, what language of the various options here does anyone have a particular preference? We've got, again, Farsi. We've got cookery videos in Farsi, Hindi, Spanish, Arabic, and Italian. Does anyone have a particular preference? Or, like, the dishes. This is, in Farsi, we've got a chicken and rice dish. In Hindi, a spicy potato thing called jodhpuri aloo. We've got the high art of Mexican traditional cooking, mole poblano in Spanish. Okay, what? We've got one for Spanish. Then we've got shawarma in Arabic. We've got actually 2 shawarma videos. The Shami chef guy from last week, who I liked him a lot. I liked his energy. And we've got a new guy I've never heard of before, Abu Julia. I get maybe that's a Julia Child reference. Nee, hab ich nicht. Then another Spanish option is marraquetas, which is like the official bread of Chile, basically. And we've got a pizza recipe, Roman style pizza in Italian. Or we've got spaghetti alla carrettiera, also in Italian. So, well, okay, I've heard one for Spanish. Any other preferences? Okay, we're gonna look at mole poblano tradicional. Oh, the Chilean bread one. Okay, let's do that. This is an amazing recipe. This guy's recipes are always very good. And his production values are also excellent. He does all the things that one of these videos for language learning purposes ought to do. Oh, I see we got some more people showing up. So what we're doing here, for anyone who just joined, is looking at cookery videos as language learning tools, because they are very useful for that. So, okay, full screen it up. And here we go. This is Álvaro Barrientos Montero. I'm going to link the video in chat. I have made this particular recipe a million times now. Never fails. And it's a pretty quick bread.
¿Cómo te va?
Okay, subtitle wise, what have we got? What options? Oh, we got Spanish subtitles. That's also another thing that's very useful. These are machine generated. We'll see how well it can deal with a Chilean accent. But it definitely helps to actually be looking at what they're saying at the same time as they're saying it.
Muy bienvenido. No me ves solo hoy día como generalmente estoy. Te quiero presentar a un tremendo panadero. Para nosotros es un tremendo orgullo hoy día tener en nuestro programa donde enseñamos a cocinar
Oh, he has the same mixer as I do.
en secreto a Itzvan Molnar. Muy bienvenido.
I mean, the other thing, again, this guy's energy is really good. I mean, he's very upbeat. He projects very clearly. I mean, he's just a pleasure to watch.
El gusto es todo mío estar acá con ustedes. Qué maravilla. Itzvan es, desde mi punto de vista hoy día, uno de los mejores panaderos que tenemos la suerte de tener en Chile. Él es un tipo brillante. Ahí vamos a ir hablando un poquitito sobre cómo se fue formando y cómo nace este amor que él tiene por la panadería, donde hoy día está trabajando, cómo tú también.
I'm going to skip over a little bit of this so we can get to the actual cooking part.
Lo vamos a dejar todo acá. Partimos. Agua fría. Tenemos 600 gramos de agua. Yo peso el agua, como todos los ingredientes. Partimos con 600 gramos de agua. No vamos a poner todo el agua, claramente, como vamos a amasar a mano, va a ser un poco más complicado. no conocemos la harina, no sabemos cuánto hidratación
yeah.
nos va.
Okay, the subtitles are already having trouble. He did not say vamos a hacer a mano. He said vamos a amasar a mano. Amasar, to knead.
Absorber, pero vamos a poner la gran mayoría. La vamos a dejar acá a un lado. Ahora, aquí tenemos 30 gramos de levadura fresca. ¿Por qué 30
And another
gramos?
nice thing about Álvaro Barrientos Montero and his channel is if you go to the description, you pretty much always find a summary of the recipe. So, like, this one has all of the ingredients and stuff like that in the description as well.
Un poquito menos, pero hace mucho frío acá. Entonces, la verdad que cuando tenemos clima un poquito más cálido, sí es ideal un poquito menos. ¿Ya?
Perfecto. Una pregunta mientras trabajamos la levadura. ¿Podemos usar levadura seca? ¿Por qué prefieres la fresca por sobre la seca?
La levadura fresca tiende a explotar mucho más.
Es una receta vegana. Esta receta es totalmente vegana. Bueno, es solo harina, agua, sal, levadura y un poco de aceite. De sabor neutral, aceite vegetal. Así que una receta más vegana que la cresta.
Rápido que la levadura seca. La levadura seca tiende a demorarse un poco más. Ahora, como dato principal, se puede usar levadura seca, pero siempre acuérdense de que es 1 gramo de levadura seca por 3 gramos de levadura fresca. ¿Ya?
Ahí está el dato.
Eso. Desmigajamos la levadura en el agua para que
Amigajamos. Lo que está haciendo aquí es amigajar la
se
levadura.
disuelva mucho mejor. Y con una mano disolvemos. ¿Ya? Tratar de que se disuelva completamente.
See,
en el
I
agua.
mean, he's showing exactly what's being done here. Nice close-up as he explains it. Con una mano disolvemos la levadura en el agua.
Fabuloso. La levadura fresca nosotros la compramos y la mantenemos en la casa en el refrigerador, ¿cierto?
Exacto. Siempre en el refrigerador. Tiende a secarse muy rápido afuera. ¿Ya?
Perfecto.
Tenemos, se nos disolvió completamente, o lo más posible.
Tiene un poco
Y
de
ahora
la hueá en el
vamos
dedo.
con toda la harina, que en este caso tenemos 1 kilo de harina. ¿Ya?
Esa harina no la pasamos por colador, no le hicimos absolutamente
Nada.
nada. Tal cual.
Exacto.
And he's got the texture. 1 kilo de harina.
Nos vamos con todo.
Toda la harina.
Toda la harina, siempre una mano limpia, por favor, por si nos llaman por teléfono. Ideal, y empezamos. Lo principal, la sal. A la harina, toda.
Ahí tenemos
20 gramos de sal.
Sal de mesa, sal
Sal
fina,
de
común y
mesa,
corriente.
Fina, común y corriente.
Sí, acá la sal gruesa no la podemos usar porque si no se disuelve quedan ahí los
Exacto.
cristales también. Es sal
Son
fina para la
cristales que
marraqueta.
son muy desagradables al paladar cuando estamos comiendo la marraqueta. Entonces, con mucho cariño.
La marraqueta in Chile has various names. It's also called pan francesa, pan francés, or pan batido. I don't know why they call it pan francés because it's not French. And I'm not actually sure why batido in this case actually distinguishes it from other kinds of bread, because I mean it all gets mixed up. But that's the thing. Like in Concepcion, they call this pan batido. It's the same thing. And then in Peru, they have a version of this. It's a very popular sandwich bread there as well. Except they make the rolls much bigger, and there they call it pan francés. But it's the same thing. It's a marraqueta,
Mucho
just a
cuidado,
really
que
big
se nos vaya a
marraqueta.
escapar. Empezamos a unir todos los ingredientes.
Es muy importante el tiempo, la calma,
Por
saber
favor.
que si estás apurado no hagas pan, porque de lo
Exacto.
contrario las cosas no van del todo bien. Perfecto. Ponemos por aquí
Por favor,
el
¿le puedes
agua.
poner el resto del agua?
¿Toda?
Completa. Porque la verdad que esta agua uno va notando cuando necesita más agua. ¿Ya? Así que
Personally,
no hay
I do
problema.
this in a mixer.
Maravilloso. ¿Te acuerdas dónde, cómo y cuándo fue la primera vez que hiciste marraqueta?
I don't like getting all that crap on my
Años
hands.
atrás. Mira, si no fuera por mi abuela, yo la verdad que... Yo creo que es la historia de todo cocinero, todo panadero, todo pastelero. Empieza con la abuela, en la casa. Yo vivía con mi abuela.
Porque
Skipping
hay
ahead.
muchos panaderos que hoy día ya no pueden hacer el pan si no lo hacen con las máquinas o en grandes volúmenes. Perdieron el pulso y aquí
Es
uno
verdad.
ve la maestría, esto es muy bonito.
El
Muy
amasado.
bueno, es muy importante romper la masa. ¿Por qué? Porque ahí estamos rompiendo gluten. Entonces lo estamos haciendo mucho más fuerte. ¿Ya? Eso lo
¿Qué
que-
es el gluten?
El gluten es una proteína de la harina. ¿Ya? Que es
La del área,
ha
de la
causado
harina, weón.
muchas discusiones a nivel mundial de los intolerantes, de los yo entiendo que puede haber mucha gente que sí tenga enfermedades con el gluten, pero también entiendo que el pan ha ido decayendo mucho con el tiempo, que al final las grandes empresas no nos dan pan, es
Sí.
nada,
Sí.
¿me entiendes?
Hay solo formas. Muchas veces
Exacto.
ya no tiene sabor, no es la textura adecuada, la miga, para qué decir. Por eso también hoy día, mi querido chef, está pasando esto que están volviendo las panaderías artesanales a los
Y-
barrios.
Y una maravilla.
Y una
Por
tendencia
fin.
en todo el
Y
mundo.
ojalá se quede.
Por fin, qué lindo.
Ojalá se quede. Y
No, es que eso no
sea
va a parar.
Y no sea una moda.
No.
Así
No, porque
que-
la gente está volviendo a descubrir el sabor inicial.
La
Skipping
versión-
ahead is they do a lot of talking about like the development of like bread in Chile and stuff like that, and that is going to be less useful for especially for like beginners, just because you can't actually see what they're talking about then, and so I'm moving it to where they're actually showing what they're talking about. This is a great recipe though. I've done this. This is like when I'm making bread, I just make a ton of this and then I freeze it, and it freezes really well. And the nice thing about when you freeze it is it actually comes out a little bit crispier when you defrost it in the oven and stuff like that than when you than the first time. It's actually I find it comes out a little bit better then. But you can make a ton of it. You can also do it in different shapes too. They're going to show you the traditional Chilean marraqueta shape, but you can do it in the shape of the like Mexican equivalent, which is called a bolillo, which actually has very similar recipe, just a different shape. And you can just do this in an afternoon. This is not one you have to leave overnight.
Se llama Food and Agriculture Organization, que se dedica a ver todo el tema de las Naciones Unidas para la agricultura en Latinoamérica.
Perfecto.
¿Ya? Y ahí hice casi todo. Ahí estuve 8 o 9 años.
No te puedo creer.
Sí. Esperamos, por mientras vamos a partir.
Yo quiero contarles que mientras la masa estaba fermentando, como aquí hace frío, porque estamos grabando en
¿Ya?
sobra.
Y lo cruzamos acá,
Perfecto.
There we go.
por favor.
¿Y aquí cuánto rato la vamos a dejar a esta niña?
Y aquí la vamos a dejar 10 minutos. ¿Ya?
10 minutos ahí.
Sí, para que nos deje cortarla y no nos cree tensión. ¿Te
Perfecto.
parece?
Volvemos entonces en 10 minutos. Ha pasado ya el primer tiempo
Sí,
de
señor.
fermentación. 10 minutitos, ¿cierto?
10 minutos. Ahora, ¿qué sigue? Lo vamos a sacar papel film.
Okay.
Vamos a dejar a un lado.
Dame, yo
Muchas
te-
And
gracias.
here again,
Y lo que hacemos es degasificar.
Desgasificar.
Exacto.
I
Degasificamos la
mean, the
masa.
camera work here is really good. They got more than one camera, so when they're doing the thing and they're talking about doing the thing, you see the thing. And that is key because your brain's got to be making these connections.
Para que sea mucho más simple de cortar.
Muy
¿Qué
bien.
vamos a hacer? Vamos a sacar bollos de 100 gramos.
100 gramos.
Yo creo que es el peso ideal para una marraqueta.
Muy bien.
¿Ya? Entonces, esperamos, por mientras vamos a partir.
Yo quiero contarles que mientras la masa estaba fermentando, como aquí hace frío, porque estamos grabando en época más bien fría en Santiago, en Chile, hemos prendido la estufa en la cocina. Una estufa común y corriente para que suba un poquitito la temperatura de la habitación. En este momento la temperatura de la habitación está en 23 grados.
Así es.
Álvaro
Vamos a hacer
Barrientos is
pollo
very
de-
much not vegan, but this recipe is. He actually, he has a small, like, chain of restaurants serving, like, traditional Chilean sandwiches in Santiago.
De 100 gramos dijimos.
Maravilloso.
La Fuente Chilena, it's called. Very good at
¿Qué pasa
sandwiches
hoy
in
día
Chile and Peru.
con el oficio del panadero? Hay un renacer, ¿no?
Sí, hay un renacer que es muy bonito, donde gente muy joven está retomando el tema. Eso es más bonito todavía, porque venía muy en decadencia el tema del pan, el tema de los panaderos sobre todo. Las industrias se habían apoderado de este tipo de pan. Y lo más lindo es que gente joven tomó el curso de nuevo de la panadería, es un oficio tan bonito, que llena tanto, que habría sido una pena que se perdiera.
Get on my nerves.
Y hoy día a ti
Entonces,
cuando te preguntan, ¿tú qué eres? ¿En qué trabajas? ¿Tú ¿Cómo te refieres?
yo soy panadero.
There, that's better.
Así con todas
Yo
sus
soy
letras.
panadero. A mí, por favor, dejemos los chicos que quieren ser panaderos, que son panaderos, dejemos la vergüenza. Si ser panadero no es vergüenza.
¿Qué
Por
pasa con un
favor.
panadero en Francia, por ejemplo?
Son más importantes que los doctores. Son más importantes que cualquiera.
Now they're just talking. When he has somebody on, they often like chat about the field, and so they're talking about how bread has sort of industrialized. You have the produced version, which often is inferior quality, but now you have more artisanal baking coming back in Chile. That's what they're talking about.
A ver, espérame, ¿qué hiciste ahí? ¿Los dejaste como
Perdona,
redonditos?
me apuré mucho parece.
¿Redonditos?
Ahora, si no pueden así, hay otra técnica que es muy simple, que es aplastar, cuando está la masa, y vamos girando hacia adentro. ¿Ya?
Girando
Muy
hacia
simple.
adentro.
Y hacemos un bollito y lo amarramos al centro.
¿Puedes
Giramos.
hacer otro después?
Sí, claro.
Eso.
Giramos y
Me too.
vamos ahí. Y tenemos un bollo.
Maravilloso.
Lo vamos a repetir. Ahí.
And this one, I
Y
mean, I love
pulgar
this
al
because
centro.
you can actually eat it on the same day you make it. And it's good.
Con los
Like
dedos,
some
índice.
breads, you have to. I mean, there is an advantage to bread that you have like a long fermentation period, well, like 24 hours, 48 hours, something like that, because then a lot of the like cleanup intensive aspects of the process are not done on the same a day as the baking, so you can get that stuff done, and then you can wait, and then when you actually are baking it and whatever. You don't have to that takes enough time on your feet. You don't have to go and then just wash the like remainders of dough off the mixer and all that stuff, and it's a huge pain in the ass.
Hacia adentro, un pliegue. Hasta
Like,
que
I mean, it's one of the nice things about
un
like
círculo
pizza doughs that
casi
take like
perfecto.
24 to 48
Giramos
hours.
y
Is when you're making the pizza,
Maravilloso.
that's gonna take enough
y
time
hacemos el bollo.
Y luego,
and
Lo juntamos.
energy.
Y con las palmas vamos girando
Con las palmas girando.
y tenemos nuestra marraqueta.
Wow, these subtitles are
Para
really
allá
not
vamos.
great.
Para allá vamos.
They look a little bit like little asses.
ahí se ve la grandeza de un panadero que no se burla de su ayudante principiante.
No, nunca. Entonces, marcamos y ahí.
Las juntamos y las comienzas.
Exacto.
Perfecto. Y con una leve presión, ¿cierto?
Sí.
Ahí usted me lo perfecciona, por favor, mi chef.
Yeah, I mean, and again,
Ahí.
Bueno, pero si esto es
see,
práctico.
I
uno
mean,
puede
a lot of the
depender
time they're
que-
less chatty. It's usually just him. He doesn't have guests all the time. In this case, he has this guy is a baker in Santiago, Istvan Molnar,
very Hungarian name. But so he's a baker in Santiago. So sometimes he will have somebody on who like specializes in a thing, but usually it's just him. And then it's much more of a straightforward thing where he's showing you how to do it.
Que la marraqueta le salga bien de inmediato.
Es un producto que es complicado, si no, no es fácil la marraqueta. Tiene su malla. Vamos a... un poquito seca, así que vamos a hacer...
¿Tiene su malla? Weón, estos subtítulos, culiao, weón. He did not say tienes un malla. He said tiene su maña. There's a knack to it. It's tricky.
Entonces quedan gorditas, acilindradas un poquito.
Yeah, it's bun
¿Me la
bread.
perfecciona, por favor, mi chef?
Claro. Ahí. Un poco. Y ahí está.
Y aquí estamos por terminar entonces. Muéstrele ahí cómo se juntan.
Juntamos los dos ovillos, palma de las manos, ahí, el centro, y vamos hacia adelante y hacia atrás. El centro no se toca,
Hacia
centro no se
adelante,
toca.
hacia atrás.
solamente acá.
Maravilloso.
Hundimos, si quieren hundir para que no quede tan puntudo. Vamos ahí y listo.
Y ahora,
Lo principal, aceite, para que no se seque.
muy bien.
Pintamos con aceite. Ponemos acá.
Esto es aceite vegetal.
Vegetal, por favor, no usen
Neutro.
oliva.
Yeah.
Ni oliva, ni coco, ni una cosa.
No, por favor.
¿Qué hace el
Pintamos
aceite? ¿Qué rol juega el aceite en este momento del armado?
Cubre la masa. ¿Ya? La cubre para que no se seque el periodo que sea a reposo ahora. ¿Ya? Entonces después la idea es que cuando marquemos, cuando volvamos y marquemos, no se nos pegue la vara,
Muy
lo
bien.
que se use. ¿Ya?
Muy bien.
Ahora ¿qué hacemos? Volvemos a reposo, pero siempre tapado con un
Yeah,
papel
and
film.
all of this
Perfecto.
is in the
A partir
description.
de este momento que lo
Which
vamos
is
a
also
cubrir con
really
alusa,
good.
¿cuánto tiempo de reposo aproximadamente le vamos a dar?
Aproximadamente va 10 minutos. a
10
reposo,
minutos más.
Así como está.
Perfecto.
Another 10 minutes. It's 3 separate cycles of resting for this dough. It's like 10 minutes, and then 30 minutes.
Papel film.
Lo vamos a cubrir con film y en 10 minutos más les mostramos cómo va este proceso de armado de marraqueta.
Alusa.
Listo el segundo paso de fermentación con nuestra marraqueta aceitada y cubierta con film. ¿Cómo seguimos, querido?
Siguiente paso, vamos a marcar la marraqueta.
Esto es muy lindo.
Es lo más lindo de la marraqueta. Y la vamos a poner en paño a reposar.
Este es el paso, según tú, más lindo del armado.
Sí.
Para marcarla, ¿qué necesitamos?
Una vara.
Una vara.
Una vara, puede ser más corta.
At that time
de
it
madera,
said, correctly in the
metálica,
subtitles.
no importa. Este diámetro está perfecto. No puede ser una muy grande porque si no nos quedaría demasiado separada la marraqueta.
Tú me dijiste que era como el diámetro del mango de una cuchara de palo, una
Exacto.
cuchara de madera. Está perfecto, Danielito, mira. Ahí. Súper bien. Perfecto. Vamos, querido.
Vamos. Entonces destapamos, podemos ir destapando de a poco. Y empezamos. Sacamos con mucho cuidado. Nos vamos al centro. Permiso, Alvarito.
Póngale, póngale, tranquilo.
Y marcamos al medio. Bajamos con fuerza y separamos. ¿Ya? Sin miedo. ¿Ya? Nos queda así y
Están marcando la marraqueta.
volteamos.
Solo con los dedos, ahí no
Solo
tocar.
con los dedos.
Muy bien.
Sin fuerza, con toda la delicadeza del mundo. Y la marca se queda abajo.
Al revés, se da
Al revés.
vuelta, queda escondida. Muy bien.
Siguiente paso, paño. Puede ser paño de cocina, un paño que tengamos ahí, limpio, siempre limpio.
Este es un
Y-
saco que yo compré en el mercado. Mira,
Perfecto. ¿Qué
súper.
hacemos ahora? Siguiente paso. Enharinamos bien el saco. ¿Ya? Sin miedo.
See, I mean, yeah, they speak very clearly, even if it's not clear enough for the machine-generated subs, which apparently were not trained on Chilean speech. I mean, and the thing is, these guys, you know, he's Chilean. He speaks recognizably Chileanly, but not so much that like Spanish speakers from other countries would have too much trouble understanding. Like he's not using a huge number of like Chileanisms and things.
Y empezamos. Empezamos acá. Pero necesitamos un tope.
Un tope.
Un tope.
Para que se vaya formando
Exacto.
con cuidado. Perfecto. Entonces, una tabla, ¿cierto? Que es algo que una persona puede tener en su casa.
Exacto.
¿Nos sirve eso?
Perfecto. Entonces lo ponemos acá y ya estamos mucho más ordenados y no se nos dispara la marraqueta.
Yeah, yeah, they kind of look like
El
giant peanuts.
artesano, el maestro.
Sigamos con la otra. Entonces nuevamente marcamos del medio, bajamos y sin miedo separamos. Sacamos.
Sin miedo. Fearlessly.
Tú la traes con los dedos hacia ti. Qué
Exacto.
perfecto.
Nuevamente la marca hacia abajo y dejamos a un lado y ahí.
El tope es el doblez del mismo
Exacto.
saco. Y así se va haciendo
Entre las marraquetas
sucesivamente.
se van topando entre ellas. Para que no se nos...
Ahí se está vistiendo.
Exacto.
Está en
Seguimos.
sus ropajes. ¡Mira qué maravilla! Vamos. Yo ya tengo a temperatura ambiente la mantequilla, el dulce de membrillo y tengo lista las
Wait a second. Background music. There shouldn't be background music. Yeah, there's no background music in this video, so it is definitely from something else. I don't even think it's from my stream because I'm looking at OBS now because you made me curious, and there's no music there. That's really weird.
hasta que voy a moler después. Qué maravilla. El aceite.
Oh, no,
lo
there is
bondadoso
music.
que es,
Okay,
claro,
it's just
no se
very
pega,
quiet
mira.
over
Mira,
here.
nada. Y no necesitamos ponerle más aceite. ¿Viste? No
Fabuloso.
abusamos del aceite, solo una vez.
Fabuloso. Un aceite vegetal, sabor
Yeah,
y
I had
aroma
to put my ear up to the
totalmente
speaker.
neutro.
Now I know what you're talking about.
Ah.
I have the volume relatively
Este
low
capítulo,
here.
se los prometo, va a ser esos capítulos íconos de nuestro canal. Al cabo de muy poco tiempo la gente va a escribir en YouTube Marraqueta
Oh,
y
yeah.
vas a estar ahí dentro de los primeros con esto. Con la
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It is an iconic video. I come back to this. Well, until I really got the hang of it, I watched this video like 5 or 6 times. Like every time I would make marraquetas.
técnica, con el conocimiento.
Lo ideal es que la gente aprenda, que haga una buena marraqueta en su casa. Que es lo
Maravilloso.
principal. Se ha sido muy fácil, sí. No cuesta nada.
Imagínate lo que pasa con la gente
Yeah,
que vive
I
fuera
mean,
de
yeah, I
Chile
mean, it is
y
really
que
cheap.
echa de menos
It is
esto y
a
va a tener la
really
posibilidad.
actually cheap bread to make too, because it's literally all you're doing. It's just bread flour, salt, yeast. They use fresh yeast, but you can use dry yeast. For every like 1 gram of like the rule with dry yeast versus fresh yeast is that you use 1/3 as much dry as fresh, and then a little bit of vegetable oil and water, and that's it. I mean, it really does cost basically nothing except some time.
De verlo. Hay gente, yo estoy seguro que viendo este capítulo afuera se está emocionando.
No, una maravilla.
Maravilloso. No, dale nomás.
Like, it's
dale
a
nomás.
kilo of
No, por
flour,
favor, es
so
que
you are
la
using
maestría
most
del
of a bag
doblez
of
es
it,
muy
but-
importante que la vayamos captando
De
todos.
nuevo. Repetimos el mismo proceso. La vara al medio, bajamos y separamos. Por favor, sin miedo. Que una masa bien hecha no debería por qué romperse. Y nos queda la última. Y vamos.
Yeah, now I hear the music. You may hear a dog overhead at this point. She just got up and she is very excited to see everybody.
Y nos vamos con la última. Y sacamos acá.
¿Otro tope ahí?
La verdad que no es necesario.
Perfecto.
Y nos quedamos ahí. Volvemos a cerrar siempre con papel film.
¿Ok?
Repetimos de nuevo que cuando tapamos con toalla o con un paño tiende a secar la masa.
¿Cuánto rato aproximadamente vamos a dar ahora?
Ahora sí son media hora.
Media hora.
Media hora por reloj.
Yeah,
y
this
nos
is the
vamos al horno,
final
un horno precalentado a 210 grados.
resting
Perfecto.
period, and
Entonces,
it's 30
transcurrido
minutes.
este tiempo de fermentación, nuestro horno va a estar precalentado a 210 grados, sin grill, sin ventilador,
Sí, no,
parejo.
Parejo.
Perfecto. Si el horno de la casa es horno a gas y tiene estos quemadores que tienen esta forma, que van hacia arriba o hacia los costados,
Sí.
¿qué nos sugieres tú?
Hacia los costados.
Hacia los
Envolvente.
costados. Envolvente.
Exacto.
¿Qué pasa con la humedad y la marraqueta?
Mira, hay dos opciones que son muy conocidas, que es la de poner
Oh,
una
she's-
fuente con agua adentro mientras está caliente. Personalmente no me gusta porque mantenemos la fuente de agua siempre adentro. Y es un vapor constante, una humedad constante.
What I
Nosotros
do with
necesitamos
this
que
is I
en
have
un
a
punto-
cast iron that I use, a cast iron pan that I also use to like make pizza, and I fill that with water and put that in there during the preheating phase, and just occasionally refresh it, and you get a nice, fairly even steaming.
se seque.
Por eso tú me has pedido esto el día de
It
hoy.
helps what's called
Vamos a
oven
rociar el
spray.
horno, al entrar las marraquetas, eso va a crear mucho vapor. Es el primer golpe de vapor, el más importante en un pan.
Maravilloso. Nuestra habitación está a 23 grados, nuestras marraquetas están vestidas, formadas en este proceso final de fermentación de 30 minutos y nos vemos entonces dentro de un rato con el horno prendido para este momento final, que es el horneo.
El
Tiempo,
horneo.
30 minutos, vamos a descubrir las marraquetas de don Itzvan y él nos va a decir, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos?
Perfecto.
¿Perfecto?
Sí.
Bueno,
Estamos en el punto culmine.
Istvan
para ya entrar a
is
los puntos
Hungarian
más
for
importantes
Steve.
del pan que del horno.
y esto es muy importante porque de lo contrario podemos echar a perder todo el proceso,
Oh,
perder todo
it's
el
probably
trabajo,
some
todo
of
el
that
tiempo.
rights-free background music that a lot of like streamers use. Like, there's tons of stuff that like has no like copyright restrictions that is free for use, public domain, and so you'll hear it in a million different streams
Esto,
Bueno,
and
muy
videos and
importante.
things.
La bandeja al lado de nosotros, un poquito de harina para que no se nos pegue, muy poco, es solo una película nada más, porque para que no se nos queme tampoco la harina en el horno.
muy bien.
Y empezamos. Sacamos el tablón de madera.
Yeah.
lo pasamos
Este
a
apoyo-
la-
Yeah, it is nice when
El
you
apoyito
remember
que
those
ocupamos.
things,
Lo que
because
hacemos acá
otherwise it
es
just
simple.
drives you out of
Por
your
favor,
head
pongan
all
solamente
day.
3, no muy pegados, porque van a crecer mucho en el horno y se nos van a pegar y se nos pueden desordenar.
Muy bien.
¿Ya? Entonces lo que hacemos acá, acuérdense, la marca está por abajo. Entonces, agarramos el paño, muy simple, y damos vuelta.
Yeah, damos
Y
vuelta.
los tenemos acá.
Yeah, like little asses.
Seguimos con el otro
Pero perdón, mira por favor.
y un tercero para que no estén tan apretados. Y ahí están.
Chef, tenemos el horno a 210 grados.
¿Sí, señor?
Parejo, ¿cierto? Sin ventilador, sin nada. Ahora vamos a ir a hornear.
Sí.
¿Cuánto tiempo
Of course, with
aproximadamente
these
le
videos,
vamos a
if
dar?
you're in
Aproximadamente
like
entre
the
18 a 20
US or
minutos de
Britain,
horneo.
Muy bien.
you
y tú
do
vas a
have to
rociar con agua.
Con agua.
Vamos
convert the
entonces.
temperatures and stuff to imperial units. Although
Ahí
I just,
estás
I mean, I use
entregándole el
metric for
vapor
the
que
weight.
necesita.
Sí. El único vapor que necesitamos en el...
I have a little
En el horneo
digital
está bien.
kitchen
Perfecto.
scale, and
Nos
you can
vemos
switch
entonces
it
cuando
to
estemos
grams.
listos. Terminamos las últimas marraquetas del chef. ¡Wow! Vi hace un rato, maravillado, aló, como tú hacías. Ah, ese es el tiempo.
Ese es el tiempo. Ese es
Vi
el
que,
tiempo.
vi que tú hacías eso. ¿Qué buscas
Perfecto. Que esté completamente seco en el interior. Eso es clave en el pan.
ahí? Tu opinión de panadero, ¿qué nos dice?
Pan casero que podemos encontrar en cualquier panadería.
Esto es impresionante porque
Yeah,
Algo
I
está
mean,
pasando,
and
algo-
this really is, you don't go into a Chilean house without there being marraqueta. That is just the bread. Everybody
está
has it.
cambiando en el mundo con el pan. Y este es el pan que nosotros los chilenos hemos comido siempre. El pan que nunca, jamás olvidamos. Tú que me ves de México, de Suecia, de Estados Unidos, de cualquier otro país del mundo sabes de qué te estamos hablando. Permítame, chef, pero...
Por favor, adelante.
Mire, mira, mira esto, mira qué maravilla. No, yo aquí... Dani, ¿captas esto? Yo aquí no puedo creer lo que está pasando, mire. Mira, por favor, el aroma. La marraqueta no se parte con cuchillo, se parte con la mano.
Es verdad.
Mira esta amiga. Permiso,
Oh,
pero
adelante.
esto para mí es... La marraqueta... Mira, se la agua a la boca, perdón. Esto es el problema mío, que es cierto que soy gordo
I
de
mean,
alma.
this
espíritu y
is like a
cuerpo.
traditional Chilean breakfast is what's called pan con pebre. Pebre is like a chili sauce sort of thing. There's like chili, coriander, some onions and stuff. And it's served cold, and you dip the bread in it. Depending on where in Chile you are, sometimes it's really quite spicy. In like Concepcion, for example, they do a spicy pebre, which is my preference personally. You just dip it in there, and oh god, it's so fucking good. But it's so
Mira
hard
la
to... I've never wanted to eat so many butts before, Riveroon said. Yes, they are tasty butts. But the trouble with with pebre is you have to have the right chilies or it doesn't taste quite right. It is so hard outside of Chile to make pebre and have it come out good.
Y ya.
Because they
¿Y cómo
don't, they have
la
very
comía yo
specific
cuando era
chilies
chico,
in Chile.
mi querido chef?
They have
Con
callo de
dulce de
cabra,
membrillo y
chile
mantequilla.
cristal,
Este era
ají
como la-
cristal se llama.
la
Ají
colación del
en Chile.
colegio.
Chile.
Para mí esto
Nah,
era así.
nah,
Entonces
Chile.
hoy día, que tú la vas a poder hacer en tu casa y te vas a dar este lujo, permiso,
Oh, listen, I crunch too.
no, cagó. Es perfecta, chef, por favor.
No, that's not what he said. He did not say no acabó. He said la cagó. See, in Chile, la cagó, cagarla can mean to fuck something up, but it can also mean that you did something really, really well. Like if you make something for you, like are cooking something and it came out perfectly, people will say la cagó, which literally means you fucked it up. But in Chile, you fucked it up can also mean you did really well.
Pruebe su obra.
Vamos a probar.
Su obra.
Lo voy a acompañar con mantequilla. Por favor.
Juegue usted mismo.
Yeah.
Toma, feliz. Mira. De ahí le vamos a poner mantequilla. ¿Qué tal?
Maravilloso.
Con esta
Yeah,
marraqueta
and here
perfecta.
again we've got. He always does this. You got the recipe here. Receta para 14 unidades para la masa, 1 kilo de harina, 20 gramos de sal fina, 600 gramos de agua fría, 30 gramos de levadura fresca, aceite vegetal para pintar la marraqueta, reposo 1, 10 minutos a 23, reposo 2, 10 minutos a 23, etc.
Con uno
And
de
for
los
anyone who missed the link in chat, gonna drop that link again because this is a great channel. I mean, both for cooking and if you're trying to learn Spanish and you want to learn, like, to get used to how they speak it in Chile, good channel for that as well. And the food always looks really, really, really good, so there's that too. So, okay, I'm gonna move on to we're gonna play another round of Blitz and then move on to the next one. Okay. Sí, bueno, hay cosas que tienen su maña, como dijo Istvan, pero en lo principal, la preparación, los ingredientes, súper simple. Bueno, crear la masa no es para nada complicado. Ok.
Ah, stiamo giocando contro un italiano. Okay, is he gonna take? Or is he just gonna hang out there? Cocorito. Ah, he's taking. Okay, neat. Mm-hmm. Okay. Got a fairly familiar position here. Oh no, that was that. Please don't notice that. Oh, you noticed that. Damn it, you weren't supposed to notice that. You weren't supposed to notice that I fucked that up. Okay. Mhm. Non dovevi accorgertene. L'errore mio, cazzo. Ah, ma io mi sono accorta dell'errore tuo. Ok. Devo fare attenzione. Devo stare attenta all'orologio perché in questi momenti il tempo sta dal costato suo. Yes. Something must be done here. Wait, let me see. Material was 2 rooks, bishop, knight, but a queen that isn't really doing much of anything right now. Double up those rooks. Let's see, can I turn this around? Or am I all that bad to begin with, really? Oh, there's this. That sucks. That is not good for me. Does he see it? He does not. Now that wasn't a great move on my part. Making up for the time problem, though. Yeah, not looking good here. GG. Yeah, completely fucked that one up. Oh, wants a rematch. Yeah, sure, we'll have a rematch. Why not? Okay, we're gonna do some D4 action. Okay, I feel like I'm possibly doing better now. Okay. Okay. Do I want to castle queenside or kingside? I think kingside, actually. Now we have opposite side castling. That's always an exciting game. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You gonna take that? That way I can take back that knight without messing up my pawn structure? Or not? Okay, not. That's no fun. No, that's not great. Okay, what's going on now? I can still take that knight. Also, okay. Ah, hell. GG. Okay. Back to the videos. Get the right links. Where's that? Okay. This is one. This is in. Let me see. What kind of let's see what the subtitle situation is. Oh, okay. So there is
Actually, well, we just did Spanish. So I was thinking of doing something else. What's everybody think, John? This one actually includes purpose-built English subs, so it's not the kind of mess that you get when you have just the machine-generated stuff. This is a spicy potato recipe in Hindi. This is Ranveer Brar. Very good for like cooking-related comprehensible input. If you like Indian food and you're interested in learning Hindi.
कुछ नहीं कर सकते तुम. यहाँ तो 4-5.
Hang on, I gotta turn this up a little bit.
5 हफ्ते में दीवार गिर जाएगी या कुछ हो जाएगा. हेलो जी, हेलो नमस्कार, मैं रणवीर ब्रार और आज बात करते हैं जोधपुर की. और अगर आपको पीछे ढिंचक सुनाई दे तो हमारे बगल में एक प्रिंटिंग प्रेस है जो कभी कभी ढिंचक करती है, तो उसके लिए क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ. फिलहाल आप ध्यान मुझ पे दीजिएगा और रेसिपी भी दीजिएगा, है ना. ये बैकग्राउंड नॉइज़ से डिस्ट्रैक्ट नहीं होते मेरी तरह. जोधपुर की सब्जी बनाते हैं. जोधपुर में क्या है, नो अनियन नो गार्लिक की और टेस्टी खाने की मास्टरी है.
Interesting. No onion or garlic. But it's this spicy potato thing. You notice in Hindi, you can pretty much always throw English in.
तो उस मास्टरी की एक मास्टर क्लास कर लेते हैं जोधपुरी आलू के साथ. म्यूजिक के उस पर आलू ले आइएगा. एक्चुअली आलू लाने की
आलू ले लिए. Take some potatoes.
नहीं, आलू सबके घर पे होता है.
Rolling and action.
I mean, again, very good production values on this. Good camera work. The audio is always good. And he shows you what he's doing as he explains it. And you should not feel like, I mean, a lot of people feel like having like subtitles in their native language is somehow cheating or something like that. It's not. You are still going to get a benefit from it. In fact, I mean, it's another point of reference. It's all helping your brain connect the words that you're hearing to the stuff that you're seeing.
देखिए, बहुत सारी रेसिपी में आपने देखा होगा कि बोलेंगे कि यार एक काम करो, उबले आलू ले लो. हम आपको एक नया तरीका बता रहे हैं. जोधपुरी आलू के जो आलू हैं वो ऐसे नहीं उबलते हैं. जोधपुरी आलू के आलू उबलते हैं मट्ठे में, और फिर वो मट्ठे में उबले हुए हल्के हल्के खट्टे खट्टे आलू की जो सब्ज़ी बनती है ना, मतलब वो मज़ा आता है. अभी क्या है ना, मट्ठे का ज़माना तो गया, ठीक है ना. तो अभी दही में लोग पानी डाल के उसको मट्ठा बोल देते हैं, लस्सी बोल देते हैं, छाछ बोल देते हैं. तो हम भी
पानी. And you've got text on the screen, also good.
असल में मट्ठा जो है वो होता था मक्खन के निकलने के बाद.
निकलना, to take something out or to go out.
छाछ बचती थी, बटर मिल्क, एक्चुअल बटर मिल्क, राइट. बट हम भी वही.
Notice, I mean, there you go. It's the words for actual butter that he said in Hindi. Actual butter के लिए. Because you can just, I mean, this is one of the handy things. Cheat codes for Hindi is you could just throw in English if you don't know it, and people will not notice. It's just normal.
देखिए क्या है, जहाँ दूध दही मक्खन का काम है वहाँ पर 101% मट्ठा जो है वो बाई प्रोडक्ट होगा. चाहे पंजाब है, राजस्थान है, गुजरात है, मट्ठा एज अ बाई प्रोडक्ट सेहतमंद बहुत होता है. आज की डेट में लोग बोलते हैं ना प्रोबायोटिक्स और तमाम वो चीज़ें हमारी गट हेल्थ के लिए, बायोम्स के लिए अच्छी होती हैं, वो सारी मट्ठे में होती हैं. तो पुराने टाइम में लोग क्या करते थे, मट्ठे में चीज़ें
पुराने टाइम
थे और फिर उनको ड्राई कर लेते थे, या फिर मट्ठे में चीज़ें उबाल के रख लेते थे, या फिर मट्ठे में ग्रेन्स को पका के उसके पापड़ बना लेते थे, राइट. तो मट्ठे को कभी वेस्ट नहीं किया जाता था. मट्ठे की खटास और मट्ठे के जो प्रोबायोटिक्स हैं उसको हमेशा यूज़ कर लिया जाता था. जोधपुर की तरफ मट्ठे का इस्तेमाल बहुत ज़्यादा है. मट्ठे की राबड़ी, मट्ठे की राब, मट्ठे के अंदर बने हुए पापड़ और मट्ठे में उबली हुई सब्जी का इस्तेमाल बहुत ज़्यादा होता है। उसी ट्रेडिशन को आगे बढ़ाते हुए
ज़्यादा होता।
हमने आलूओं को मट्ठे में उबाल दिया है। सिंपल इजी, नो रॉकेट साइंस। मैं ऐसे जल्दी जल्दी इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ, मेरे को लग रहा है कि पीछे से ढिंचुक 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 ना सुनाई पड़े आपको। हमारा गेयर भी वो
Jiddan, jiddan, jiddan is apparently the onomatopoeia for the sound of a printer.
मशीन के साथ साथ मैच हो रहा है।
This guy reminds me of
no
somebody.
garlic.
Oh, that's who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Tomer Sisley in the show Balthazar. That's where I'm getting, like, just something about his way of talking and moving.
Primarily vegetarian regions है ना, जैसे राजस्थान हो गया, गुजरात हो गया, वहाँ पर राजस्थान, मारवाड़ खास तौर से वहाँ
Adrak. I mean, that's one of the other handy things here. Like, he has the Hindi word for ginger on here with the English. So, Adrak. Adrak जिंजर के हिंदी नाम है।
पर ये अदरक, हरी मिर्च और साथ में हींग का इस्तेमाल बहुत ज़्यादा है, क्योंकि उससे फिर वो आप अनियन गार्लिक को बैलेंस कर लेते हैं। All you are doing is merely switching from one flavor balance to another. मुद्दे की बात ये है। अभी यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है, यहाँ पर दही की जो रिचनेस है ना, वो दही की रिचनेस, घी की रिचनेस, दही की खटास, उसमें आलू जो है ना धीरे धीरे नरम हो रहा है। आप चाहें तो प्रेशर कुक कर लीजिए, बट ये टेस्ट नहीं आएगा और फिर आप कहेंगे रणवीर आपने बताया नहीं। ये मखमलीपन चाहिए और नेचुरल खटास चाहिए तो मट्ठे में दही और घी में उबाली। ठीक है जी, सब बता दिया हमने। साफ कहना, सुखी रहना, ये ऑप्शनल है। हमारी फेवरेट है तो हम हर जगह ठोक के डाल देते हैं। धनिया की डंडी,
धनिया के डटल और जंडे।
धनिया की जड़ बिल्कुल बारीक चॉप करनी है। मोनोपोली इसकी वही है, बस ऑप्शनल है।
बिल्कुल बारीक
है तो डाल दीजिएगा, जमीन आसमान का फर्क।
Yeah, I mean, you notice. I mean, if you listen carefully, you will hear English words like the word he used for chop is chop karna, to do chopping, like just the English word there.
पड़ जाएगा। छोटी छोटी चीज़ें होती हैं साहब खाने में, और कुछ नहीं होता। अब क्या रह गया, गार्निश के लिए तिल टोस्ट कर लेते हैं। तिल को टोस्ट करने के ना अलग अलग फंडामेंटल्स हैं, अलग अलग तरीके से लोग ज्ञान देते हैं। मैं हमेशा ये कहता हूँ, तिल को हमेशा तेज आंच पे टोस्ट करना चाहिए, मसालों की तरह धीरे धीरे।
I mean, and so as he talks about, I mean, he shows you the stuff and he talks about it, and the camera work is beautiful. Like the camera quality, the image quality, the audio is really good. I can't hear this printing press that he keeps talking about, and usually there isn't one in the background. He talks a bit fast, but it's good. But it's like a normal speed, really. He doesn't usually talk quite this fast. But so this is another good one, and he has a very nice just screen presence as well. So, and these are all things that are important when you're looking for like material, like how-to material or whatever that you're using for language acquisition.
टोस्ट नहीं करना चाहिए। तिल जो है वो पॉप होना चाहिए, पफ होना चाहिए। कुछ चीज़ें हमेशा तेज़ आंच पे पफ होती हैं और कुछ चीज़ें धीरे धीरे अपना फ्लेवर धीमी आंच पे छोड़ती हैं। मसाले धीमी आंच पे, और सीड्स जिनसे कि आप पफिंग की उम्मीद रखते हैं वो तेज़ आंच पे। पीछे से हमारी घरवाली बोल रही थी, तो बताया नहीं तेज़ आंच, धीरे आंच, ये वो। तो बाकी आप जानते हैं, सुख शांति से रोटी घर पे खानी है गरीब ने। ठीक है, बाकी अगर आपको लग रहा है कि बैकग्राउंड आवाज़ में ढिंचक ढिंचक तेज़ हो रही है, तो नीचे आपको प्रिंटिंग प्रेस का नाम दे दिया जाएगा, है ना। लिख दो सब लोग कि भाई सुधर जाओ। नहीं नहीं, सबको अपना अपना काम चलाना है साहब।
सब अपना काम के
हैं। किसी को रोटी बनानी है, किसी को किताब छापनी है। वैसे तो हमारे पास हैं 3-4 एडिटर, कुछ तो करेंगे कुछ।
I mean, it's just like visually appealing to. I mean, like that is just a really gorgeous
pot he's
तो
using
आवाज़
to
वगैरह
cook
कम
in.
कर देंगे मशीन की नहीं हुई तो 20% ब्लेम तो एडिटर्स पे डाल देंगे हम बेचारे हर बार ऐसे ही खाते हैं ब्लेम है ना काम भी करो और
I'd say the editors did a really good job. Because I don't hear what he's talking
सब
about.
एडिटर बन गए हैं अभी पीछे मैं कमेंट्स पढ़ रहा था आजकल 30%
Comments, pardara. I was reading comments.
कमेंट जो है वो एडिट पे होते हैं कि सर वो वाला एडिट में वो वाला पॉइंट ठीक नहीं था वो क्या है ना सब लोग फोन पे edit करने लगे
Reading YouTube
हैं।
comments
सबको पता है कि क्या गड़बड़
is
है
the
और
worst
कैसे
part of
पकड़नी
the
है।
job.
सब एडिटर
I know. I mostly get very nice comments on my channel.
पानी डाल रहा हूँ क्योंकि आलू थोड़े मूड में नहीं है आज अगेन यू कुड स्टार्ट विद बॉइल्ड पोटैटोज प्लेन
And let me just tell everybody in chat about a project I'm working on. It is the Ines Armand translation project. I have translated so far 34 of the 36 essays that are extant from Ines Armand. She was the first leader of the women's section of the Bolshevik Party. Her work was suppressed by Stalin, never really got translated into English. Provides all sorts of insights into just the thinking in the Bolshevik women's movement and the early years of the Russian Revolution. I have been working on this for some months now. There are still her letters to get through. I'm trying to raise a total of $8,500 to cover it, to cover the cost of translating and editing it. And so far I've raised... Where I've got that number here someplace. Hey, video. Hey, number. Yeah, here we go. 3854. So, anyone who would like to support that project, they can do so by becoming a Patreon. And becoming a patron on my Patreon or making a one-off contribution. The links are in chat. As I just wrapping up here, I just thought I would mention that. Weird. Apparently, there's some huge lag. Because I'm looking at I'm looking at the video here on my YouTube studio thing, and they're still showing the Marraqueta video. That's ages ago. How that is there that much lag? Wow. That's wild. Anyway, it's time to start wrapping up. I think I might play one more blitz before we go. As I thank everyone for joining in, I will be back tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time to resume. Let's see if I can do a little bit better. Canada. 1500 rated. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Is there any option here that isn't GG's? There was not. Okay. Have a good rest of your evening. It is now time for me to go and do something about dinner things.